host, Linda D. Brown, and today we're going to try to go ahead and do the interview that we weren't able to do yesterday with author Anthony Rodriguez. Anthony will be joining me today to talk about his new book, The Musician. So we'll be waiting for Anthony to come in, to call in or to log on so that we can go ahead and discuss this wonderful book with him. For those authors that are looking for a place to, looking for some assistance promoting your book, please give me a call, or you can email me at the authorchatshow@gmail.com. Author Chat is available on Google Hangouts on air, and also on, we have a Blog Talk Radio podcast. So you can go ahead and actually promote your book with either a live radio interview or a live on air Google Hangout interview. So I think that's a great way for you to get your book into the hands of readers. Okay, so again, we're just waiting for Anthony to come in, and hopefully he will be calling in soon. Okay, I'm going to see if I can send him a little quick message without, oops, I guess I shouldn't have done that, huh? Okay, there we go. And so let's see if I can maybe contact him. If you have any questions for Anthony, I do have our Q&A chat up. All you have to do is just go ahead and send a question in, and we'll be more than happy to ask Anthony whatever questions it is that you have. This is a wonderful way to promote your book to others. So again, we're just waiting to see. Let's see, invite people. Let's see if I can get Anthony's name on here and let him know that we are waiting for him to come on in so that we can go ahead and get him on so we could talk about this book. There we go. Okay. Okay. There we go. And hopefully we won't have the problems that we unfortunately we ran into yesterday. So I'm just going to bear with me. I'm just going to, there we go. Okay, Anthony. Looks like, there we go. Anthony, hi, Linda Brown. How are you?
Hello.
Great. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. How are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's finally good to be online, huh?
Absolutely. Not real sure. As a matter of fact, I actually had two technical difficulties. I had back-to-back shows yesterday. I had your Google Hangout on air, and I also had a Blog Talk Radio show. And right in the middle of my interview, my phone just died. It was the craziest thing. It never happened to me like that before. But Anthony,
wow.
Yeah. New technology, it happens. Anthony, this is your first time on the Author Chat show. Why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my foundation is a pianist. I grew up as a young piano player at the church, and from there I pursued my passion for music. And in my late 20s, I became a music entrepreneur, developing different musical projects, and that led to my motivational speaking career, where I motivate different groups of, youth, business people in regards to doing what you love. And since I today do what I do my music, and it's really evidence of that you can do what you love. And hence the hardships and all the hurdles that one faces in life. I'm a witness to that, that you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. And so there, with the motivational speaking, that led to writing my book, because that the motivational speeches usually last 45 minutes or so. So some people want to hear more about the story. So I wrote a book. It's called The Musician. And it's pretty much a motivational book, and also an entrepreneur book that motivates people to pursue what they love, and some informal guides to making it happen.
Okay. Now, so you're a musician, you're a pianist. Do you play any other instruments?
No, piano is my main instrument, but I do love the percussion. I love the drums. I
Mhm.
love playing the bass, but my primary instrument is the piano.
Oh, okay. I have a
Yeah.
6-year-old grandson who's been playing the piano since he was about 3. And not only does he play the piano, he also plays guitar. And his mom had started him playing, I think it's the cello. The big thing looks like a big guitar that's on the ground. Just let you know, I
Yeah,
have no
cello.
clue. Right. So,
Yeah.
so how would your book uh, tell us who your target audience would be for your book? Would it be for parents interested in getting their kids involved in playing the piano, or would this be for someone that's already currently playing the piano?
Well, the book has nothing to do with actually playing the piano. The
Hmm.
book is about people like myself. There's people out there that have the artistic spirit, and to, like, for example, an artist that likes to draw, somebody that likes to play basketball. The society tells us that, there's no time for that, and you can only be whatever society tells you to be. You can only work in corporate office, or warehouse, or if you're gonna go to school, you gotta go to school to be a lawyer. And some people never, or our elders never stopped to ask us, what is it that you want to be?
Hmm.
And the book is it's a guide, because my parents never pursued or pushed me to actually do music for a living. They
Okay.
were they were the typical routed people that would say, well, you got to go to school and study computers. You have to do this. There's no, music is just a hobby. That's what we do in church on Sundays, and that's it. It's a book to motivate people that are talented, people that are, in the atmosphere of doing stuff special, something that other people don't do. And it's just a book that speaks about how I established what I want to do as a musician, and how I grew to be a mature musician, and how I took the piano skill and I developed a living out of it, and also and from there, just explaining my situations. I had a lot of stories where I've failed. There's other stories where I fulfilled, and it talks about different situations, and also I have lots of quotes in there. Continue on forward no matter what.
Hmm.
So the book is not a music book. It's a motivational book,
The
pretty much.
motivational book. Great. Okay. So then your book would basically be for someone like myself. Started out, love to write. Like you, Anthony, I used to drive my parents crazy because I wanted to be an entrepreneur at the age of 12. I knew that working for somebody else for the rest of my life really wasn't something that I wanted to do, and honestly couldn't even understand people that are very comfortable doing that. So I could actually take your book and uh, learn what tips on maybe how to take that passion and do different things with it. Do you talk about how to promote your talent or whatever it is that you're doing in the book?
Yes, yeah. In the book, it speaks about one of my first projects that I developed in 2006. I released an instrumental album, and it was totally independent. And today, I'm still independent.
Okay.
How I That was the first time. I was actually at a 9 to 5, and I remember those nights. I didn't really have a smartphone at that time. I pretty much had a flip phone, so it was very hard for me to communicate with people sometimes. But being at home during the night, I was on my computer emailing, researching, and I've dominated, the marketing, self-marketing, self-promoting, and just hustling hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I expressed those experiences on the book. How you have to work hard no matter what it is that you're doing. hard times come either way. Whether you do what you love or not, hard times will come. The most important thing is to not give up and to fight hard for what you're meant to be. And if you believe in yourself, if you believe in what God has called you to be, then everything else shouldn't be. I mean, you shouldn't have fear. You got to have faith.
Right.
And that's what the book is about. It expresses from my beginning to where I'm at today, and it doesn't mean that I'm done with my life and that I've reached my goals. I haven't reached my goals. My new goals, my new achievements is to do something better
Hmm.
in my life. It's not, to say, well, I achieved this. This is what I am. No, it's what am I going to do that's going to better me,
Hmm.
and how can I achieve a higher level in my life? Not to be better than somebody else, not to copy anybody, but just to push myself. And the book is just that.
Absolutely. Do you
Yeah.
find, Anthony, that it's more fulfilling to, like you said, actually work in what you're passionate about as opposed to just working a regular 9 to 5 so that way you can pay the bills? Is this something that you talk about in your book?
Yeah, I actually speak about it. I actually talk about how some people have it, some people have a easier way to approach it, and some don't. And it's a decision that one has to make. If you're at a 9 to 5, how can you balance it? How many kids do you have? Are you married? Are you single? It depends, man. For everybody, it's a different approach. You got to approach it differently. I was able to approach it. My thing was I was put up against the wall because in 2006 I was at a 9 to 5. I recently had gotten married 2005, so my whole goal was to provide a steady check because before I was married, I was doing music, but it wasn't something that I saw well, I saw myself. My passion was always music, but I can probably say a bit afraid of challenging myself musically. So I went ahead and I just got a regular job just to get married and to provide that steady check. But after a while, destiny knocks on your door, and how long can you avoid something that's meant to be? And 2000, around 2007, I got laid off for work, and I was promoted to a manager and everything, but it wasn't working out because I guess life, I guess God just took it to a different route.
Hmm.
And after that, I had to make an important decision whether I was gonna go to a different job or am I going to put myself to work for real. And I remember going to a UPS interview at 4 o'clock in the morning. They took us through a warehouse tour, and it was hot. And I automatically just turned around and I left. I left. I made an effort to look for another job, but it wasn't working out for me. And what helped me in my situation was I was able to collect unemployment. My ex boss actually told me that he was going to approve it for me. And I took advantage of that, and I just started making flyers. I started making calls to my old colleagues that I was available at any day, any time. As a musician, you freelance, you play with different bands and all that good stuff. And I developed AR, which is Anthony Rodriguez Piano Workshop,
Hmm.
and I started providing private piano classes, and that was my main hit. That was one of the best things that I was able to establish. And in New Jersey, it's one of the best private piano courses. And so today I run it. It's 2014. I've been doing it for more than 5 years now. Um, and that's just part of the success that I express in the book. And of course, just because it's a success doesn't mean that you know things are always easy. In any business, you're always going to have that up and down business part of it.
Hmm.
But the good thing is that in my business, I have different things. I have the Anthony Rodriguez Music Group, right? It's a music company, and I provide professional piano services. So I do play with different artists, and I do give my classes, and I also do the motivational speaking, and I provide recordings as well. So when one thing is down, the other thing is up, and it's just like the cycle just continues on. But the whole thing here is to just continue forward and waking up each and every day and to fulfill something that's going to make your business or your calling better than yesterday.
Mhm.
You
I
know?
used to, absolutely. I used to sell real estate back in the 90s. And one thing that, an adage that we always used in the real estate business is that you're only as good as your last sale. Same
Yeah.
thing when you're doing your own business. You're only as good as the last thing that you did. Like in my case as an author, you're only as good as your last book. Anthony, one thing that you said, two things actually that you said that I really want to kind of really expand on is number one, you're right. I still have a full time gig. I work at a public library here in the St. Louis, Missouri area, and it's heartbreaking to see the number of people that are still searching for jobs after our economic collapse that we had in 2008. Unfortunately, most of the people that I see that have been affected by this that are still looking for work are those that are like age 40 and up. I think your book, do you tend to run into people that are interested in your book because now since they don't have a job, and they're kind of reigniting the passion that they had when they were younger about dreams that they had to put on the back burner so that they can go ahead and take care of their family. Are they using your book to try to as a starting off or a jumping off point to go ahead and start their own little businesses? Is this something that you've run into with people interested in your book?
Well, yeah, I think Amazon speaks for itself. If you was to go to the Amazon and see the reviews on the book,
Mhm.
I've seen that a lot of people have been motivated, and even people that supposedly wrote there that they are nonfiction readers, and for some reason they found themselves reading the book. I think it's a good, a good thing to feel. It's wow, it's great that I'm able to reach certain readers, and for what I've read there, it seemed to work for a few people,
Mhm.
and that's pretty much it. Because of course, you have your friends here, have your
Mhm.
family, and they all say, yeah, the book is great. I mean, they have no other choice but to compliment your book.
Right.
So if they don't like your book, they're not gonna say, hey, your book just doesn't. Your book is no good. But um, the people on Amazon, the supporters that I have online, have nothing but good stuff to say, and I'm very appreciative of their feedback. So yeah, I've seen like countless people just sending me messages that the book is great, and that they're afraid to do certain things, but with not by themselves. They're not the only ones doing it. But I do tell people that this is not for everybody. Doing your own thing is not for everybody. There's different ways of succeeding in life, and the book is mainly aimed for those people that want to do their own thing. Those people that are fired up about doing something, and they
Mhm.
won't let anything stand in their way. If you bought the book, um, if any reader buys a book in relations to that, that means that they are after something that not many other people look for. So it's something unique, So
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
yeah.
totally agree with you that starting your own business or just stepping out and embracing your passion is definitely not for everybody. I still have family members that kind of look at me like, okay, so you've written all these books, you're still working. What's the problem? They don't realize that it takes a while. You have to actually build up your base, so to speak, and to really get that going. Another thing that you talked about that I think is real important too, Anthony, is the fact, like you said, you diversify. You do piano lessons. You do motivational speaking. I think that's really important. So talk to us a little bit about how you kind of set up your day. Do you have a set calendar? How do you set up your work day?
Well, my work day starts with my baby. I have a year and 2 month year baby. I just became a daddy last May,
Oh, congratulations.
23rd, 2013,
Hmm.
and my day starts with my baby. So whatever I do, the baby has to come first.
Hmm.
after that, I pretty much go on the computer, check my emails, and I pretty much go with the flow during the day because I see sometimes I focus on one thing and it takes me hours to accomplish, like the website. I work with Wix.com and in doing my website. So sometimes when I need to update something, there has to be things written out, flyers made, a design made, and that can take 5 hours sometimes, because of the ideas that come out and the wording and everything else. So, but I do put like goals for the day. On Mondays, I usually, promote the piano courses. I do online promotion, and some other days I focus on, like I said, the website. Some other days I focus on promoting like my YouTube videos so that people can, see it. So I have so many things that I have on in line for the week, and sometimes I don't even have time to do that because there's certain activities happening that I have to attend. And but it's as an entrepreneur, as a music entrepreneur, there's so many things to do,
Mm-hmm.
um, and just balancing everything out is very important. My wife is a wake up call sometimes, because every time I'm on my device, I'm working, and I have to have the device across the living room for me to not work. I
Mm-hmm.
can't, I'm a workaholic. But if it's not for my wife, I'll be in the computer all day working.
Mm-hmm. When you do what you love, it's very easy to look up and say, "Oh my God, I've been on the computer for 10 hours," and not think anything of it, as opposed to being at work and it's, "Oh my God, I've been on the computer for 10 hours." Tell us,
Yep.
tell us how you use social media to promote your business, Anthony.
Well, I think of hashtag terms that I can use for the day. Um, what people usually I predict what people usually look for. For example, I did some piano covers for the new Mark Anthony record that came out. So when I promote my piano classes, I tend to use those as promotion. So I hashtag keywords that are very popular, and that's just with the piano course. When it comes to the motivational videos, I aim at very popular words that people face. For example, fear. I hashtag fear. I hashtag encouragement, and I also create what you may call it. I don't know what that's called. I just downloaded the app to create the quotes as a picture instead of writing it. That helps out too. So in social media, pictures and links sell more than just
Mhm.
writing.
Mhm.
Um, Being that Facebook, how Facebook is, they really don't send your stuff to a lot of people. So you have to try to promote yourself in ways that people can come in and say, "Wow, okay, this is what's going on. Okay, fine." So I work between Twitter and Facebook and
Okay.
Instagram.
Mhm.
And I have LinkedIn, but I think LinkedIn is too mature for me. So I still don't know how to use LinkedIn yet, but I'm mainly on Twitter and Facebook. So I just aim with the hashtag, like what keywords I can use, and then I
Mhm.
just post whatever I have to post.
Okay. And how can our listeners actually connect with you on social media? What's your Twitter handle
So Twitter is I am Ant Rodriguez,
and
and
Facebook?
Facebook is Anthony Rodriguez online.
Okay. And what about you don't do LinkedIn and Instagram?
Well, I mean, I have LinkedIn. I don't even know my link for LinkedIn. Instagram is real Anthony Rodriguez.
Okay. Just an FYI, LinkedIn has now allowed you to actually set up a company page where you can actually put your company, you can put videos and pictures of some of the things that you do on there. So when you get ready, because you're right, I had a LinkedIn account when it first came out and it just kind of sat there idle for years. And then I actually, socialmediaexaminer.com is a website that I tend to use, Anthony, that teaches me how to use different social medias to really market my business. As a matter of fact, that's how I found out about Google Hangouts and Google Hangouts on Air. So that's a
Okay.
great, yeah, that's a great website for you to check out. Again, it's called uh, Social Media Examiner. That's a great site. And Anthony, believe it or not, we're down to our last 5 minutes. One thing I would love for you to do is after the interview, if you could go back to the email and email me a link of your favorite YouTube video so that we can put it on the Arthur Chat Facebook fan page, and also your social media link so that we can start referring people to you so people can connect with you on social media. Now,
Okay.
you live in what part of the area? What part of the country are you currently living in?
I'm from Dirty Jersey,
Dirty
New
Jersey.
Jersey.
Okay. And do you have any events coming up in the area that you'd like to share with our listening audience?
Well, I'm going to be working with an artist. Her name is Brenda K Star.
Mhm.
We're going to be performing her hits in PA. She's a Latin singer, but
Okay.
her primary style back in the 80s was freestyle music. I'm not sure if you heard of her,
The name
but
sounds very familiar. Yeah.
yeah, she sang the song which Mariah Carey also sang it. I Still Believe.
Okay.
So I'll be working with that artist for now on for the next shows that come up.
Mhm.
So August 9th, we're going to be in Allentown, PA, Pennsylvania, to perform live at a
What?
music fest.
Okay. And how was it working with Mark Anthony? Did you know Mark before you started working with him to design his cover?
Well, no, I did piano covers for the new record that he released. I
Okay.
didn't actually work in the record. So because when the album came out, Mark Anthony doesn't do records every year. He does
Mhm.
records like maybe every 10 years or so.
Mhm.
But since YouTube became very popular for the last few years, nobody has done piano covers of his new music. So I went ahead and I was one of the first ones to do it. It was so popular that I guess a few people spammed my page and YouTube deleted a lot of my videos.
Wow.
I received thousands of views, but I had to reopen a new page and redo those covers all over again.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so I guess people can flag your videos, I guess, but I was one of the first ones to do the piano covers for them,
Okay.
and so it's a success,
Yeah.
and that's
Well,
it. I mean, I don't really do much piano covers. I just did it just to promote the classes, and
mhm.
since Mark Anthony's music was brand new, it's a good way to promote yourself.
Absolutely. Well, we really wish you the very best with your business. And number one, Anthony, I give you kudos for stepping out on faith and just using the talents that God has given you. I'm a firm believer in that. I think that's the way that it's designed for us to really create the wealth that we're looking for. Not only just the wealth, but living that abundant life where you have the time to spend with your family and to do the things that you want to do without being constrained by an 8 hour position, an 8 hour job. So we wish you the very best. And believe it or not, we're down to our last minute. Is there anything you'd like to leave with our listening audience before I let you go?
Well, yeah, I want to encourage anybody that, when you doing what you love doesn't necessarily mean, to get off of that 9 to 5. Um, or if you are in a 9 to 5, if you're that type of person to be in a 9 to 5, you can always find the 9 to 5 that you love. That if you're a person that likes to work in a group, if you don't necessarily have to be an entrepreneur, because a lot of people aren't entrepreneurs, but just make your work environment. Um, if you don't love it, either find something else or change it so that you can love it. Always be that person to get up and make that change. Some people they like to complain a lot, and they say things. And if you complain about something, why won't you be the person to make the change or suggest
Absolutely.
to your boss or something? So
Mhm.
make the best of life, and find happiness in everything you do.
Wonderful. That's a great way to end the show. Anthony, thank you so much for calling in, or actually not calling in, but logging in. I'm going to have to
Thank you
start.
for having me.
Oh, it was an absolute pleasure. Looking forward to having you come back on the show later on, okay? Don't forget to
Thank
send
you.
me those links. Okay, you take care. Have a great evening.
You too.
Okay,
Bye.
okay, bye-bye. That was author Anthony Rodriguez. And again, the title of his book is called The Musician. You can find it on Amazon. And again, he's going to send me the links so that we can go ahead and post them on our Author Chat Facebook fan page. Believe it or not, that's our show for today. It goes really quick, doesn't it? If you are an author or an entrepreneur and you're looking for a way to promote your business or your book, please contact me at the authorchatshow@gmail.com. I'll be more than happy to send you the link so that you can go ahead and secure your spot. We can again do it as a Google Hangout, or we can also do it as a podcast on our Author Chat on Blog Talk Radio. Well, that's it for this evening. As Anthony said, it really pays to do what you love. Like I said, I have my 9 to 5, and I'm blessed because I really enjoy what I do. I don't work that hard, and I work for a library. I was an avid reader as a young girl, so working at a library is like a dream come true. Then I started publishing my own books and also promoting. Like Anthony, also had to diversify to, actually expand who I am, so that my brand, so that people would know who I am, and actually just to bring in an extra stream of income. So again, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the 14th. I have another author that will be doing a Google Hangout on air. So enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night.